Hello everyone, I'm here today with another chess puzzle, and today we are looking at this interesting endgame here where we have a bishop and a pawn which goes this direction, and black has only these two pawns. But how do we promote this pawn that is very far away from our pieces? Pause the video and have a think, find a plan for white, and then come back when you want to see the solution. Best of luck. Okay, so what happens if we just start taking a pawn here? Then black king would like to come to our pawn and grab it, but our bishop would be sort of blocking it. So the black king would have to take another route, king to f5, and then we can't really stop this. If we bring our king closer, then the black king will start marching. And if we try to block the black king from reaching the e3 square with, I don't know, sacrificing the bishop uh, by playing bishop to f4, well, of course, black is just going to take that bishop and we will still lose his pawn. So that will not work. And if we instead just start with bringing our king closer from the beginning, then black will just play king to f4 and then king to e3 next. If we play king to c4, then black will have king to e3, and yeah, we're gonna lose this pawn. And if we again try to sacrifice our bishop like last time, black is just gonna take the bishop, and yeah, there is no way for white to win this because while we have our pawn intact, black also has a pawn, and this endgame is going to be a draw. So we have to find something else. And if we try to play bishop to f6, try to attack this pawn, then we are getting somewhere here because again, if black just immediately tries to rush for this pawn, then we will just grab the pawn and we will protect the e3 square. And this will be a win for white. But what if black instead plays c5 to defend the pawn? Then we can bring our king to the action, king to b5, attacking the c5 pawn. And here black will try to get to the e3 square. And now what do we do? Because if we take the pawn here, then black is just going to go to e3 and grab our pawn. So that doesn't work. So how can white still win this? Well, that is by sacrificing the bishop by playing bishop to g5 check. And now if black captures our bishop, then we will capture the pawn on c5, and after king to f4, we grab the other pawn, and this is a winning king and pawn endgame. I'm not going to cover this type of endgame in this video. There are plenty of tutorials online that you can look up. But white has the opposition here, white is in front of the pawn, and white will be able to support the pawn up the board. So that is why bishop to g5 wins. And if black instead plays king to g3, then what do we do now? Because black is planning to play king to f2 and then grab the pawn on e2. Well, then we sacrifice the bishop again, bishop to h4 check. And again, if black captures the bishop, then we saw the whole thing. We take the pawn on c5, take the pawn on d4, and we will be able to support the pawn up the board. So instead, black will try to play king to g2. Try to get to f1 instead and grab the pawn. So what do we do now? Because if we grab the pawn on c5 now, then black is just going to play king to f1, and this pawn is going to be lost. Well, the winning move here is to play king to c4, and we ignore the pawn here. We just want to bring our king closer to our pawn, and black will play king to f1, and we will defend the pawn with king to d3. And now black will try to kick this king out by playing c4 check. And of course we can't take any of these pawns because black will then be able to grab our pawn, and that would be a draw. We can't win with only the bishop. So we would have to try to hold on to this pawn by playing king to d2, and black will again try to kick the king out by playing c3 check. And here, what do we play here? King to d1 or king to d3? If we play king to d1, then black will play c2. Again, we can't take the pawn because then black will take our pawn. So we would have to play king to d2, and then black will just promote. And now we are forced to take the queen, and black will be able to take our pawn. So king to d1 is incorrect. King to d3 is the correct move here. Now if black tries with c2, then we will have bishop to g5, and we are now in control of the promotion square. And now if black plays king to e1, then we play bishop to c1, and if black plays king to d1, can you see what white do here? We play bishop to d2, and now black is in a zugzwang. The only move black has is to promote this pawn, and when black do that, we will just capture the piece, and if black capture our bishop, then we will be able to capture the d4 pawn, and we will be able to run this pawn up. And if black goes e1 instead, then we will just be able to play bishop to b2, grab this pawn, and then run up the pawn. So it doesn't matter, we will win. And if black, after bishop to c1, instead of playing king to d1, if black instead played, for example, king to f1 here, then we would just play king to d2 here. And we are now taking away the e1 square from the black king. And after king to f2, we don't play bishop to b2 here. Instead, because if we do, then black will just go back and forth with the king. If we take the pawn here, then black will be able to promote. We will have to take the promoting piece, and black will make a draw. Instead, what we're gonna do is to play bishop to a3, which is a tempo move. And what this does here is that we are allowing black to play king to f1, and now we play bishop to b2. And the difference here is that if black plays king to f2 now, then we can take with a check. With a check here. And black will have to move the king somewhere, and then we can just play e4, for example, and we will be able to win. So let's go through this again. The first winning move was to play bishop to f6, and black will try to hold on to the pawn with c5. We play king to b5, and black will try to approach this pawn. And here we play bishop to g5, check. If black captures the bishop, then we will just take both of black's pawns and then run up with our pawn and win. So black will instead try to play king to g3, try to approach the pawn from another direction, but we will play bishop to h4, try to sacrifice the bishop again with the same idea. So black will continue with another direction, king to g2, king to f1, and here we play king to c4 to bring our king closer to our pawn, and black will play king to f1, and here we play king to d3, defend our pawn, and now black will try to kick our king out. We can't take any of the pawns because then we will lose our pawn, and that will be a draw. So we have to play king to d2, c3 check, king to d3 was the winning move, c2, and then bishop to g5, protecting the promotion square. And after king to e1, play bishop to c1, and if king to d1, then we have bishop to d2, and now black has to promote the pawn We take that, and now we will be able to win. If you found any of this or any of the sub variations, let me know in the comments. And also check out the description where I've added some chess tactics books that I highly recommend. They are affiliate links, so if you purchase from any of these links, then I will get a cut. So you would help supporting the channel as well. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.